Hi and welcome. Kimberly Castleberry here from JustAskKim.com, and today we're going to take a review of an application I've recently come across for social media called FriendSweeper. And FriendSweeper is an application that helps you identify inactive friends on your Facebook profile and also at the same time identify the active individuals so that you can protect them while we go through this process. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my Facebook profile, and what we're going to see, let's get over here to profile, is that I'm running about 1,126 friends. The problem with this, and you've probably got the same situation going on, is that less than, who knows, maybe a fifth of that number is actually active. And so as you get closer and closer to that 5,000 number, it becomes more and more important to clean up this number so that you're able to continue to add more friends and more fan pages. Now the 5,000 number cap includes both friends and fan pages, so sometimes if you're at the cap, one of the first things you can do is dump a bunch of fan pages. You can do that on your About tab. But a better alternative once you're at that point becomes to grab an app like FriendSweeper. There's honestly not much competition for this app on the market at the moment, partially because most of the apps out there were not compliant with Facebook's terms of service, and as such they lost their developer access, and so they weren't able to be kept up in that. There's a few apps that kind of do similar, but they were really obnoxious and spammy. One of them added a bunch of fan pages and auto posted, and yeah, it was just kind of yuck. And so I went looking and come up upon this, and this is put together by Robert, and I've had an opportunity to work with this a couple weeks, and so I want to give you an overview and show you what I found, show you some quirks, and just take you through the process of identifying and eliminating some of your inactive fan base so that there's room for more engaging people. Now, one reason that that should be important to you is that everything in Facebook is drove on EdgeRank, and EdgeRank uses a variable that determines how engaging your content is by the percentage of your fans who engage with it. And because it's a percentage, dead weight in your friend list or on your Facebook page for your fans, dead weight in your fans, creates a negative feedback loop that causes you to not get the reach you should. And so what we want to do is we want to identify those who really aren't seeing your stuff, who you've had an opportunity to engage with and it's just not connected, and just go ahead and let them go on their merry way. No harm, no foul, no bad feelings, and just make room for more people who are really interested in seeing your stuff. And as such, your reach is going to go up. So let's log into this app, and let me come back and show you the login. And once you've purchased, this is a purchased and paid app, and there's a couple purchasing and pricing options. Oh, well, I just clicked right through it. I've used it too much. It's a Facebook connection login, and they need that. It looks a little intimidating, but they need that because really this app has to have access to all sorts of stuff, but it doesn't auto post, so don't worry about it. It's all clear. They do a really good job with this. So we're in this page, and your first time in, you'll be prompted to generate a report. What I'm going to go do is I'm going to show you my generated reports first, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of this old report. Okay, this was one I ran the other day, and so I've cleared it out. And now on my left I have reports, create new report, my currently generated reports, and the PDF exports of those. So I'm going to create a new report. This app can go up to 30 days back in terms of querying Facebook. The app actually stores data for longer than that in terms of the individuals that you mark as people you want to keep, and that's highly important. I'm going to show you why shortly, but the fact that this app sort of learns from your choices and keeps a memory of who you don't want to accidentally remove is what makes it incredibly powerful and totally worth the money in terms of making a good long-term app purchase. Okay, we're in 30 days. 30 days is the longest you can go back, but if you only wanted to do this month or you only wanted to do a couple weeks just to look at a particular behavior, you certainly could do that. I like the 30-day posts. This is going to take about 10 minutes to run. It'll take a little less than that if you upgrade to their VIP option, but it's going to take about 10 minutes. So kick back, relax a second. I'm going to pause the video and we'll be right back. Okay, and so we're back, and this has just finished up, and what we're going to do is we're going to click View Report. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that at this moment, there is a big bug in this where if you come back into an old report that you've created before, the numbers look really off. And so at the moment, it is necessary to generate a fresh report to have valid numbers in here. And it's not, the numbers that are off is not the engaged or unengaged fans, but some of the engagement stats in that. So come down, let's have a look at what we got here. What we have here is my total fan base in this circle, and we can see that 84% are non-engaged, and in this box 16% are engaged. So we have approximately a 15% engagement rate, which isn't great. And so what we want to do is we want to identify these non-engaged friends. Now, something's important to remember about this, though, is that any app that would carte blanche go through and wipe out those non-engaged friends is going to wipe out family members. It's going to wipe out professional connections that are actually important to you. It's going to wipe out a near and dear friend who has maybe been in the hospital the last 30 days. It's going to wipe out people who are in the middle of moving and haven't been using Facebook in 30 days. There's all sorts of people that this number includes that would be endangered by older style apps. And that was a real big problem. It was the reason that I really never got behind apps like this, because there was no way to protect those people from removing. So if I come on down here, what I see is that I see my friend number, and friends I've deleted is 0 for right this moment. This is deleted from this report. Friend safe zone is the number of people that I have marked as protected so that they don't accidentally get deleted when I go through and start the deletion process. It's also a visual cue. That way when I see them in one of the lists, I know that, okay, I've already marked that, that's okay. And those are people that we won't go deleting. And so what I see here is that I have 151 friends who have been active with my content. That means they have commented on my posts, liked my posts, or come and posted on my wall in the last 30 days. Okay, now I have more than that in friend zones because over the last, about month or so, I've run this report a couple times. I've moved engaged friends into protected. And I've also gone through my list and started to identify people that I want to make sure I don't delete so that I'm able to not lose those critical connections. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up engaged friends. And what you can see here is that they are rated by the score, and the score is their number of times they've engaged. I'm not sure in this metric whether in this particular score that comments are worth more score than likes, but generally that's true. You'll see a couple places in this app where we really focus on people that comment on stuff because Facebook values that more. And so you see that I've got green hearts next to all of these. But what you want to do, let's see if I can scroll down and find any that I didn't catch earlier. No, I've used this app too recently. But my favorite thing to do in this box is just to click Select All and add selected friends to Safe Zone. Okay? These are your engagers. You want to protect those people. At that point, you can X out and close the box. And if you were 151 here and 0 here, then this one went from being 0 to being 151. You can also come down and see the number of non-engaged. You'll also see those with no profile photos. Generally, no profile photos are accounts that are either semi-inactive or totally inactive and just need flushed. Now, I do have one who's in there who's a family member, and because of who it is and because of why it is, I'm leaving that. But I removed, I think, 6 from this area so that I was able to clear that out. And so now I'm going to come into non-engaged friends. Whoops, and it takes a second to load. There we go. And so now you're in non-engaged friends. And what we see is that these are individuals who have a score of 0. And so what I want to do is I want to click on their name to open them in Facebook. And see, I'll just click on a couple of these. And go here. And all you want to do is take a quick look at these, decide if the connection should remain, or if you're going to, for example, with her, I'm going to wait on the connection. I'm going to see if anything develops. For example, with this one, I've already put him in acquaintances, so it's time to be bye-bye. And for example, with this one, what are we doing here? I think this is another. Yep, for example, with this one, we're just going to click unfriend. And that's how it works. The other pieces is that, for example, like Paul Thompson here, I just click on the little heart, put him in the safe list, and that way he doesn't show up in this list next time it loads. And as you work through this, you want to really pay attention to identifying the people who you don't want to be deleting. Okay, I can't stress that enough, that there are critical connections that you won't want to lose, that you'll want to flag. And this takes time. There's no one that can do this for you. There's no one that can make the process of protecting non-engagers any easier. You could go and dump them all. You really could, and for sure that's what happens when people delete their account and start over. And there's some value to that as well. But a lot of times there's people we've got professional connections with that even though they don't see our stuff, maybe we're connecting with in a Facebook group, maybe we're connecting with over on our page, that it's just not profile connections. And this app only sees profile connections, so it's really important that we understand the limitations of that app. And so you work through this. At some point though, you decide that you're at a point that you're done. And you've protected as many people as you want to protect. And at this point, you have two options. You either come back into this non-engaged friends list and you start manually deleting, or depending on the style of account you have, you come up here and you find your personal friend sweeper rep and you jump on Skype with them, or you jump on email with them, and you tell them to log in, and you give them access to your Facebook account, and you tell them that anybody that is not on the safe list in the most recently run report, I would not let them run a new report because you could have added friends since then. And so in the most recently run report, that they are to remove everybody for you that is still inactive, unengaged, and not safe zoned. And they'll take care of it for you. That's a pretty darn big feature. So there's no automatic removal, but there is access to your own personal rep, and that's available in some of the account levels. You'll have to see which ones it's available in, because you can get this app either on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis, and there's a couple upgrade levels as well. And so once you're within the upgrade levels, but having the ability to have essentially a VA just come in and wipe that all out for you, and that you know that the individuals have been vetted by the team at FriendSweeper, so they know how the app works. You don't have to train anyone, and you don't have to sit here and do this yourself and really stress over, because it can be hair pulling, it can be agonizing. You can look at these profiles and open them up, and you can go back and forth over, should I remove this or not? Now instead you can just tell somebody to go make it happen, and make it so, as Captain Picard would say. And I've taken some time to really work through my non-engaged friends, and so that simply takes time. There's no alternative way to do that. If you just try to mass automate the process, you can, but you're not going to do as good a job, and you're going to lose valuable connections. So while I really like the app, oops, and here you see the caching bug. Remember I told you if you came back to a report that you had used before, it would be wrong. See, this shows 10, this shows 0, this shows 0. Yeah, there's a bug in here. Run a new report at this time. Hopefully they'll fix that soon, because that's going to mean I'm going to continue to beat on their server and continue to generate reports every time I want to see something. And that's really hard on their resources. They need to sort that out, because I don't need a new report daily. I just need the current one to work. And go through this. You're going to like it. It really does its job. No, it will not bulk unfriend people for you, because that's against Facebook's terms of service. That endangers not only the app, but endangers your account. However, They give you a VA. What more do you want? This is pretty hot. I definitely like this. I think that even with the bugs, it's a really strong app. I'm glad I made the purchase. I am enjoying using this app, and I think you are too. So give it a check out. I'll put a link below in the footer of this video and in the text if you're on the blog post, and let me know what you think. Give it a try, check it out, and I know you're going to like this because I found it to be really solid, other than the few quirks, of course, but you can work around those. It's still better than anything else that is out there currently today, and because it's got a sound financial model, I really believe that this app is still going to be around in 3, 5, however many years Facebook is still around. I think they've got enough of a business model here to keep this app going as Facebook changes. And that is very, very important because so many apps today just vanish. They just, you buy into something and next thing you know, it's gone. And a good financial model is important for apps staying around. And I think this one's got it. I think that this company, this app could very well be around, several years from now. I would say go ahead and make your purchase with no fear. And so, check it out. Let me know how you like it. And I look forward to hearing from you. This has been Kimberly Castleberry from JustAskKim.com.